Hey Insteaders, here to talk to you today about spaghetti sauce, another staple of canning and meal prep that we use when we have a lot of tomatoes. This particular year, we had a really tough time with tomatoes. They took forever to start coming in, but once they did, we had a bunch. And when I mean a bunch, we're getting 8 to 16 pounds a day of usable tomatoes. Now, when I say usable tomatoes, we went a long time with, and tomatoes are very temperamental for some reason. So we went a long time getting tomatoes that had what are called bloom rot, where you have a little soft spot on the very bottom of the tomato and the whole thing kind of gets bad. Um, that usually means that you've got a lot of rain, and a lot of rain that hits all at once, and it doesn't have enough sun. So, like I said, tomatoes were kind of finicky in that sense. We had a lot of that, and then all of a sudden, we got rid of some caterpillars that we had on there. We also got rid of some dead leaves that were drawing some of those nutrients. So, cleaned up the tomatoes and started getting a nice, healthy batch of good ripe tomatoes. Those tomatoes are the basis for our spaghetti sauce. Sheila has a really good recipe that uses a lot of tomatoes, a lot of onions, and a lot of seasonings from our garden as well. We have another thing that comes in very easily and very well is basil. Love the smell of basil. Basil and tomatoes work really, really well together. Can make a good tomato basil pie. It's another recipe for another day. Very, very good stuff. Anyway, could go on and on about tomatoes, but more to the point, let me show you a little bit about how we make our tomato sauce and why we prep it and save it and store it the way we do. A little bit different than our salsa. Salsa we have been canning in jars. This we freeze and save in gallon-sized Ziploc bags. The reason for that is they stack very nicely once you get them frozen flat. We actually have a milk crate that's in the lower freezer that has them stacked up almost like old record albums, where you have them all in a row. You can pick one out and give it a day or so to thaw out in the fridge, and you're good to go. Good for making spaghetti and meatballs, making baked spaghetti. We have a baked ziti that we love to do. We take that to the beach usually, and it's one of our staple ingredients in that. So anyway, let's get into making the spaghetti sauce.
These are the regular tomatoes because we don't waste anything. The Roma tomatoes or paste tomatoes are actually easier to cut up.
Because they don't have that.
Unless you drop it on the floor.
Sorry, Ruger, not this time.
Because they don't have a stem that needs to be cut out of them.
Okay, so waste very little.
Yep.
Already smells good. It's not even nearly done.
Nope.
What percentage would you say this is of paste tomatoes versus slicing tomatoes?
This is a whole lot more slicing tomatoes than we've had before. This is probably 25% slicing tomatoes, 75% paste tomatoes.
Okay. Just what came in.
That's just, we're using what came in. Okay, so then I plugged the crock pot up. I set it on manual, low, for 12 hours.
Smash it all in there.
It will cook down in about 2 hours and I'll have to come stir it. That's it.
2 hours later.
All right, so 2 hours in, we give it a good stir. And you can see how it's starting to break down. What was super smashed all the way to the very top is now kind of broke down a little bit. Oh man, it's already starting to smell good. Garlic in there, green peppers. And here we have the finished product. Still steaming because it just cut off. So it's been running for about 12 hours. We have nice, thick sauce. If you want it thick, you don't have to blend it, but we like ours thin, so I'm going to go ahead and blend ours. Use an immersion blender. I'm going to demonstrate for you. This is our KitchenAid immersion blender. It makes really quick work of all those tomatoes and peppers. Blend them up. Nice and consistent. Good sauce. Six jars of frozen spaghetti sauce. Portion packed and laid flat to freeze.